Welcome back to Instructions for Humanity. Subscribe. It is your girl, Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I'm your supernatural quantum healer. I'm the author of The Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages, book one, The Ego Divide. Go ahead and pick that up, available on Amazon. Let's jump right into this. I have my brother with me, and we're going to jump into the agitation that we've all been feeling. The agitation of things not going right, technology breaking down, things not lining up. And also, too, we're going to talk about what's that? Did you hear that? This is part of the disturbance, the energy disturbance that is going on. And we're also going to talk about the Euphrates River drying up. We're going to talk about the Nephilims waking up, the giants waking up, and why this is important, because you might also be waking up as well. And not just you waking up into 4D, 5D consciousness, but I mean your body is doing something different. Your body, the aches and pains, there is almost like a internal you that is wanting to be birthed out of the old skin. The old skin wants to be shed. And I'm going to tell you like this. Over the past year, I've been waking up and I've been doing this horrific yawn. It sounds like there's a giant waking up. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll wake up in the morning and instead of doing a normal yawn, no, I'm like, no, it feels better to do a big yawn. And I'll just yawn like, ah. And for some reason, that feels so good to me. And it wasn't until I started getting all of these uploads and downloads from Source, and I realized that no, the giants are waking up, the Nephilims are waking up. Some of us hold that DNA. It is our DNA that is waking up, our giant DNA, our ancient DNA that is waking up, that holds sacred knowledge and sacred codes. And I've been really drawn to ancient Mesopotamia over this past at least past 6 months. Bro, what do you want to say to that?
I had the same experience as far as like waking up and also the yawn as well. Sometimes when I go into the spirit and I'm speaking, in the light codes that I will have, I attribute my spirit. The name is universal, so that's why I have universal spirit. um, he gets into these groans because I'm literally battling in the spirit realm. And when I'm battling in the spirit realm, I have groans like that. But one day I was just, sometimes you wake up early, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. And then I'm up, I'm just laying there, but with my eyes closed. And I just started seeing almost like from above, like a mountain, but the mountain was like a person, almost you could say, laying down, fetal position, something like that. But I knew it was me. And then I began to get up and I started speaking in the spirit, and I had a loud groan, just like you're saying, a deep groan to where you're waking up not just in the morning, but you may be waking up from thousands of years of dormancy.
Mhm.
And I just let out that great yawn. And then the Most High just really said, you are an ancient of days. And I just kind of seen myself literally a great mountain. I got up and I was like on my knees, and then the following days, and I think this was happening the same time to you as well, and over the next couple 2 or 3 days, I could finally feel like I'm more, I wouldn't say totally awake, but I'm standing up, you know, and waiting further instructions.
Wow. That's that's amazing. Like, this is, you guys, this is so big. This is why all of these energetic disturbances, this is why I remember I keep going back to this fear bomb. This is like, this is the big thing. I've been gathering data my entire life, and fear is is the reason why we're binded down to all of the low frequencies and we can't rise. The reason why this fear bomb was dropped during the Lionsgate portal is because they knew that the Ancient of Days were waking up. They knew the Nephilims, the giants, were waking up. And this is why you're getting the energetic disturbances in your life. Even, you might even be having disagreements with family or friends. It's all just to agitate you, to get under your skin, to lower your frequency so that you don't completely waken up, and which brings me to the Euphrates River. So I was woken up this morning. I get all of my downloads, or rather uploads, in the morning. I get my uploads in the morning, and I literally rushed to my computer and I wrote all of this down. I typed it. And source actually told me, and I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Source said the Euphrates River is drying up and showed me 3 birds. 2 of them were golden, and one of them was an actual bird that flies, representing 2/3 God DNA and 1/3 human. There's something, I think there's a legend that goes, there is like some giant that was buried underneath the Euphrates River, and now that it's drying up, will the energy of this ancestor rise? I totally believe that's the message that I got this morning when I saw those birds, 2 golden birds and 1 regular bird, representing 2/3 God DNA will be activated and 1/3 human. So there is a huge shift. Source is calling me into ancient Mesopotamia. I feel like I physically need to travel there. Source is saying there are key codes there that I need to find, that we need to find, that's going to unlock codes to now plug this into our day-to-day system that we're living now. And when we do that, it's going to basically give us access into the new world, because this source says we don't have much time left. As you know, that I'm responsible for helping us birth out the new earth, and this old earth is dying. So something in ancient Mesopotamia is a key code to actually portaling us out into the new stratosphere. And the ancients of days are waking up, and I think this Euphrates River holds a significant key to it.
And it's interesting, it says in Revelations chapter 9, verse 14 to 15, saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and the day, and the month, and the year, for to slay the 3rd part of men.
Wow. Wow. So based off
That's
of this, 1/3 of our human DNA will become, I'm hearing, dormancy, which actually is interesting because right now, Source told me we're functioning out of 1/3 human. I mean, 2/3 human DNA and only 1/3 God DNA. But when we find the key codes from this Euphrates or ancient Mesopotamia area, we will be functioning from 2/3 God DNA and 1/3 man. So based off of the scripture that you just read, if 1/3 of human DNA is kind of, or man is kind of being dormant or kind of being subdued, then that would really tip those scales to what I said, 2/3 God and 1/3 human.
Mhm. And it says the next verse in verse 16 says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, and I believe that correlates to 200 million,
Mm,
in our day and age.
mm, mm. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're waking up, guys. This is just what we want to say. So if you're yawning, or like I'm telling you guys, these aches and pains you're getting out of the blue, you're like, some people are aging rapidly. Like they wake up overnight and they just look completely different, or they have like even marks on their body. Like, where did that come from? No, your DNA, your ancient DNA, your giant DNA is coming back online. or rather, to sum it up, your God DNA, which is infinite, right? Or at least very, very ancient. It's coming back online, and these are the pains of your awakening. So as if we're going through a collective awakening and we're going through an individual awakening from 3D into 5D, we're also going through the ones of us that are ancient souls, that are giant souls, that are the template of the source code. We're actually having our own awakening. And it's very interesting, bro, when you mentioned that the mountains, you mentioned early on about the mountains. I talk about that in my book, The Great Expansion, A Cosmic Bible for the Ages. I talk about how the mountains are dried up, stuck God DNA. Every single time, you guys have to know that these gods used to dwell here on earth. Absolutely. And they were giants. A lot of us are giants. A lot of us are gods. There's been over 10,000 gods in recorded history. Some of us are actually the gods that are awakening. You don't have small roles here. You have a very big role to play. And those mountains are stuck God DNA and energy. Those used to be giants. This is how big the God energy is. It's able to leave behind a monument of remembrance. That is stuck God energy. Every time humanity rejected a God and its teachings and its way forward to expansion, it dried up and it turned into a mountain. And these mountains are for us to remember the God that was here. And a lot of us are awakening to that. And I'm almost thinking, bro, do you think these mountains will awaken too?
It's highly possible. If you want to share your screen, I see some pictures actually where people have captured of different mountains.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you can share.
It-
Can you share? And you need to
Yeah, it's like,
go ahead and share.
yeah, I'll share.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
So this, for instance, this one here, this is kind of what I saw of myself. You can really see it like a head. You can see the arm here, the chest, the buttocks, the legs, the feet, you know, just awakening.
Wow.
You see, here's another one. This one, is that an arm? That's a hand,
I'm not sure.
a giant hand.
Let's see another one. They're everywhere. They're in the clouds. Like,
Definitely looks like a forehead.
and maybe that mountain where they chiseled off the
It's
president.
like a nose, eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that
This one you can see as well. Two eyes, a forehead, nose.
yeah, I can't see it yet. It's it's not showing on my screen. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
This one is clear. That's a whole face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, get this one. Hmm.
Yeah, I see it. Wow.
And this goes to say, like to yeah,
Wow.
something happened. Like you could almost say a galactic war, something
Yep,
happened that was powerful.
absolutely. That's what I was saying.
So
Mount
yeah,
Rushmore.
just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Mount Rushmore, when they carved the presidents into the side of the mountain, this is bigger symbolism. They're saying that these mountains, they were showing us right there that these
Hmm.
mountains hold these significant figures. There's power in the mountains. That's why I used to go to the mountains and pray and meditate. Like starting off on my spiritual journey at the age of 25, I knew that there was something there. I didn't know it, but intuitively I knew it. And so what's going to happen when these giants awaken? What's going to happen to the ones that have not yet awakened to their own power? They're going to get completely crushed, because you cannot fight giants with your human technology. This is why you have to tap into your spiritual gifts and abilities. You have to turn on completely. You have to just understand that you are multidimensional. You have access to multidimensional bodies as well. You have to learn how to project your consciousness into those other dimensional bodies that you have. You know, and if a giant is here, what kind of body are you going to need? You're going to need to tap into one of your astral bodies, that where you can fly, where you have a body that you can fly. But they tell you here in religion, oh, if you see someone flying, they're a witch or they're demonic. No, it's because it's no longer time for play and for fairy tales and for imagination. It's time to really, all of those things that they told you to be afraid of, it's because they don't want you setting yourself free. Because they want you recycled back into the system, serving another life sentence here on the Earth School. We want to get you guys prepared for what is to come. The mountains are absolutely going to awaken. Some of us will awaken along with it. The Euphrates River is absolutely drying up. And once that starts to dry up, I do believe whatever God that is buried, that they said there was a giant figure or God buried underneath there. I do believe that this is facilitating this awakening here within the ones of us that hold this sacred giant DNA. It's powerful. It's powerful.
And it's the same thing as far as right now, all of the elections and everything, and people are really tired of, the inflation that's really been frustrating for a lot of us that were born in the 70s and 80s. We've seen these cycles multiple times. We've seen presidents get into the office, they never do anything for the people. And it's really they're just ciphering our energy in exchange for pieces of paper. And it keeps you in the so-called rat race, and they're just ciphering your energy. And that's the same thing, and you're never getting anywhere. It's the same thing that's happening to us spiritually from these beams. They're just ciphering our energy, our life force energy, keeping us trapped in this time space continuum, repeating lifetime after lifetime. And they're continuing to control and have the power over humanity. And it's time for us to take it back. Just like it's time for us to take it back in our society in which we live today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Do not be afraid. When you see yourself, like maybe you go into the mirror, you're like, man, I even aged from the last time I went into the mirror. It's because your DNA, your ancient, your giant, even Nephilim DNA is coming online. And it will bring a new perspective to this thing we call religions. It will bring a new perspective. When the aliens come down and it's announced to everyone by the government, but that these things are real, we now have to start living in what they told us was the imagination. This is where we're going to be triggered to live. That's why I told everyone the imagination is more real than you could have ever thought. It holds all the key codes. It is the one big Akashic soul. You can't think a thought that does not exist already in creation. It is an impossibility to think a thought that does not already exist. We are the giants. We are waking up. this is going to free us from this third dimensional matrix. This is going to automatically bring a level of awareness and bring us into a higher state of consciousness, 5D consciousness, and beyond. I do have to check out of here. We'll come back with maybe a part 2 of this. But guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if YouTube has unsubscribed you, please resubscribe and press the notification bell. And then also to pick up the book, A Cosmic Bible for the Ages, called The Great Expansion, Book 1, The Ego Divide. I love you, I love you, I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys. Bye.